What's cracking, everybody? Welcome to Czaleo Knows It All. That's right, baby. We back. That's right, boy. Check it out, baby. We back. Czaleo Knows It All. Thank you for coming. Week number 2. They can't stop us. We doing this. All right, let's go. Hacking Czaleo back at it. All right. Make sure you log into the chat on the app, on the TGN Latinx app. Make sure you go to our YouTube page, the TGN Latinx YouTube page. You can watch this live right now, so you can go ahead and comment. Also on the app, you can go into the chat room and then get involved if you want to get involved in today's show. Man, we're pumped, man. Oh, go to La Supremamusic.com. Check out La Suprema, one word, on Instagram as well. Check us out. That's what me and Hank do when we're not out here dominating that radio waves, making people mad out here, okay? So welcome to the show, man. We're pumped. Week number 2. We're going to get into it today, man. Today we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the world, right? So we want to get to it. I'm going to jump right into the main topic of the day today because today I kind of added a couple of new segments, and we're going to see if we can try to squeeze them in, okay? Thank you for everybody who reached out during the week, man. It's been really crazy, really positive, so I'm pumped, okay? So,
yeah, we had a lot of great feedback, man.
We did, man.
A lot of people reached out, they reached out, via text. A couple people hit us up on Instagram.
People called me, so
a lot of DMs.
Yeah, man. So we'll go over some of the things that people said later, man. So we'll get into today's main topic, and today's main topic is strong men make good times. Okay, that is a sentence within a bigger saying that goes like this: strong men make good times make weak men make hard times, then hard times make strong men, right? That is the cycle of societies and life that we seem to be going through, right? That most big societies kind of go through. If you ask me right now, I feel like we're in a time of strong men made a lot of good times, and now we have weak men, right? That's where we live at right now. And that's dangerous, right? Because right now we live in a time when for some reason masculinity and it's looked as negatively, right? We have a term called toxic masculinity, right? Which in my opinion is, kind of ridiculous, right? And when I said that right now, I'm sure a lot of you got offended, but that's good, right? Because we need to have this conversation because the truth of the matter is that manhood and masculinity and that drive is the reason we're here today, right? Everything that you see around you today, everything, the world that you are enjoying today, watching on internet, on your phone, eating food, was built by man, okay? Was built, the structure that we have. You know what makes everything great living here? If you've ever traveled to other countries, right? The big difference between those places and here is that here, everything works. You know what's awesome in America? When you go turn on the water, guess what? The water is on.
Water comes out,
right? When you go turn on the electricity, guess what? The electricity is there, right? Internet, telephone, buildings, structure, roads, right? How do you think that got there, right? A man built it, right? A man built it, right? And for some reason, all of those instincts in us, right? And our history is now looked down upon, right? And is consider something that is bad or toxic and is not going to get us to the future when it's really what, got us here, right? We live in a society where a lot of people think, a lot of, especially women these days, they say that this phrase goes around a lot: I don't need no man, right?
Deep. That's deep.
Utterly ridiculous, right? Do you know what a man is? Do you know what a man will do for you, right? Do you know what family does to a man, right? Having a man, ladies, is like having a 24/7 robot, for life dog that'll give its life for you, right? I'm a man. I have a family. I will die for my family. I love my wife, my kids. My goal in life is to give them everything, work my butt off, right? And then, probably die earlier than everybody in that family so they can have it all when I'm gone, right? A man is somebody that will build, somebody that will protect, right? Somebody that will provide, right? It's a great thing, right? And in today's society, we're somehow have been forgotten or have been kind of pushed to the side, right? And I don't want to make this like, oh, poor guys. Here comes this guy, defending manhood or just poor men, right? But there's just been too much of a disappreciation of what we do, right? Let me see here, right? So,
and then maybe there's something deeper. Yeah, maybe it's something deeper that stems from that absent man too, right?
Right.
It could be something within our own selves that we haven't kind of lived up to the calling.
Well, maybe, right? Because maybe men today aren't doing what they're supposed to do. That's why people are complaining, right? And one of those things is to be strong, right? Strength is something that we should have, and it's also your duty, right? We need to be strong. For some reason, we all think that everything we have is just like our right to have it, right? Do you have any idea? One thing that bothers me today is people and their lack of understanding of history, right? The majority of history, the majority of life has been suffering, right? The majority of people who have lived on this world, the average age is probably 30, right? The majority of people have had to worry about getting raided and getting completely wiped out, right? By the Mongols or the Romans or Alexander or somebody coming to dominate you, right? You need to protect, you need to be strong, right? It is your duty to be able to pick something up, to pick up your own body, right? Your own body weight, right? So, men, if you're out there, you need to be strong because strong men are what make good times, right? Right now, what's happening in the world right now, it seems that we are projecting weakness, and because of our weakness that is being projected, we are now in bigger problems, right? Because we don't project strength, right? To get a little bit political on you guys, right? So moving on with this, strong men are the people who make history, right? Strong men are the ones who are remembered, right? So strong men make good times. Let's not forget that, because weak men make bad times, and it feels like right now we're in a lot of bad, right? We're not we're lacking that father figure, right? That father figure as a society and maybe within our own families, right? I feel that a lot of the problems that are going on today are not due to racism or oppression, right? It's really due to the lack of fatherhood, right? To the lack of father figures in the household, right? Which is incredibly important, right? It should not be replaced, right? So that's how I feel about that subject right there. Anybody in the chat right there wants to log in and add to that? If they do, check it out, right?
Let's check in. It's pretty deep, Caesar Leo.
Thank you, big dog. What do you think, man? Do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with that. I think that we've just been absent. I don't think that we've been we've kind of held our own as men.
Yeah. Another thing, guys. Yeah, another thing is that like men, another thing that you gotta that is difference between us and women. Like one thing that kind of worries me these days is women. I think that women are above men, in a strange way. Like I feel like you have more value, right? But for some reason today, where you guys have kind of been tricked to become a man, right? If anything, a man is expendable, right? We have evolved, right, to be easily replaced, right? We can populate very easily, right? But we were kind of made to go to war and die, right? While women, you guys make life. You guys can make other lives, right? So your job is, much more important than ours, right? In my opinion, right? So, manhood, right? Men, stop making excuses, right? Be strong. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to do it yourself. All right, big dog. So that's today's. That's what today's. The rest of the topic of the day will kind of revolve around that. All right. Strong men make good times. All right. After this, we're gonna move into our news, right? To current events. All right. All right, gentlemen. So here I am, Caesar Burgundy, Caesar Leo, Conchita Alonso de Rodriguez Alonso, reporting here live from Los Angeles. All right, first thing we're gonna do a first show recap, of the first show, what people had to say, right? What people thought. And more than anything, man, I got a lot of people coming out, reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. I got a lot of ideas of topics that I should do, which gets me excited. But one thing that really made me happy was that my mom and my dad reached out to me, man. They let me know that they were proud of me, right? And them being proud of me is awesome. It's a big deal. It makes me feel really good, right? Because that's just great, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I also got them. They were a little bit worried, right? They're worried about speaking my mind and what those consequences may be, right? But One of the reasons I'm having the show, one of the main things that I want to, that I want people to understand is that, excuse me, I'm having a shiny forehead brother moment, right? Is that there's a saying, right? And it's the only thing necessary for evil to persist is for good men to do nothing, right? So we have to say something, right? I'm tired of being scared, right? I appreciate everybody who reached out to me and told me that I should be careful, right? And to be careful with my words, which I will be, right? I'm not here to offend people. I'm here to get people to think, right? I kind of went through the trying to get people to think by offending them, and it doesn't really work, right? But one thing that's also important to know is that, like, I think Bill Maher said this the other day too, is like the left, right? Or the left or the right. Some people might look at me as right wing, right? But I'm not, right? I've actually always been a centrist that always leaned to the left, like most California people. But I'm gonna tell you something. The left and the Democrats and all that good stuff, I haven't changed. They changed. Okay. They went all the way one way, right? And I feel like most of the people caught that wave, right? And a lot of the things that I have to say is that I'm trying to bring people back. If anything, I feel like I'm the center, right? The left has gone so left that where I stand is now the center, right? But they'll call it the right, right? Because it's gone the Overton window, as they call it, has gone so far one way, right? And we need to get that back in order, right? So I appreciate everybody showing love and telling me that. But like I said, man, I'm really gonna try to jab you guys because we need to get these conversations going, and need to get people to think because black and brown communities and white communities, there's a lot of things changing. The world is changing, and I want it to be a better place. Okay, so that's the recap of the first show, and now we're gonna do the meme of the day today, right? Which really gets me going, which I like a lot. If like I said, if you're listening on the app, thank you. You can also check out on the YouTube if you want to see what we're actually doing. If you want to see the pictures that we put up, but today's meme of the day is this one, right? It's Benjamin Franklin, the Native American from the Land O'Lakes, right? The Uncle Ben's, right? And Aunt Jemima, right? So this is where things really trip me out, where I feel like people need to think deeper, right? We have this society where we want to wipe out the past and we want to make everything equal and all this stuff, right? And all we really do is you end up eating yourselves, right? We end up hurting ourselves, right? It's almost like we have too much emotion and not enough logic. So in that meme, what happens? It starts off with the four of them, right? And little by little, they're all gone. And who's the only one left now? Uncle Ben, right? So the way that we solve racism, so now when people go to the market, they're not going to see any faces of color. Now they're only going to see Uncle Ben's rice. So we actually shot ourselves in the foot, right? We're supposed to be including people, right? This is supposed to be the solution, but we actually end up playing ourselves, right? Now that the Washington Redskins are no longer the Washington Redskins, right? Now that I don't see that, the other day I saw the Orlando Lakes meme, right? And then it said like, oh, look, just like they took the Indian away and kept the land, right? And I was like, wow, I haven't thought about Native Americans in about months. Now they're out of the American psyche, right? One thing that conquering and all that is bad, right? But one thing you got to give America props for, man. We're the only place that will conquer you, we'll go to war with you, but we will let your people thrive. We will take, like a lot of great societies before us, right? Like Alexander, like the Mongols. They would take the good, they would tell people just, assimilate. Right. We'll take the good from your culture, we'll learn from it, right? But we won't totally destroy it, right? We're American, honestly, if you're a Hispanic or black person, bro, and you grew up in the hood like me, you grew up, when you thought of Native Americans, you thought of like bravery. You thought of like bravery, fighting, right? They were in the lexicon as brave, right? Now, and then even Atlanta Braves, right? The Cleveland, nobody looked at it like, look, if anything, that's how we remembered them, right? And now we're so smart, we've progressed so much that we've erased them from the lexicon, from the American experience. What is that, dog? Right? What did we do? Was that actual progress, right? Or did we shoot on ourselves in the foot because we're trying to look virtuous, right? That meme is genius, right? Because like I said, what happens with the left a lot of times is these ideas kind of eat themselves, right? And they're not good ideas, man. So, be careful what you wish for. We have to really think about things, right? Because like I said, the American experience, or going back to the Indians, right? We always think of them that we wiped up, it's, I'm sorry, the Native Americans, right? If that's more politically correct, right? it's more complicated. They were here for hundreds of years together. After, through disease and all that, there was attrition, but it wasn't like there was one giant. People think of the past, all that the white people came and they just killed all the Indians within 2 years and they just wiped them all out. No, 200 years of disease, wars, them fighting within themselves, culture, technology. It's a very, very gray story, and it's not black and white. Right. And the inclusion of them and all that within our culture, or even within the names. Or we live in Los Angeles, everything is still here named in Spanish, right? From this, it's all part of our history. We can't erase it, or else we're gonna repeat it, right? So that trips me out, man. That's the meme of the day. I hope you enjoyed that. Other current events going on in the world right now, we've got Hunter's laptop, right? Not to get too political, man, but let's the Hunter's laptop is really a connection to more of a million things, right? More of
follow the money,
of the fakeness, and the Russian dossier and the lab leak and the Steele dossier in January 6th. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to think, guys, right? But I am gonna tell you, remember what you think, right? Right now, it's almost like people talk about 1984 a lot, right? Because in 1984 there was this concept of the eternal present, right? The powers that be, they're always erasing the past, right? So nobody knows what to remember, right? I actually feel like that's a good argument for newspapers, because one thing about print, you can't go back and change it. Once 1,000 newspapers are printed, what they say is what they say. Nowadays, one news story, they'll be like, well, you said that last, they'll just change it. Right. Who's to say that they can't go on there and digitally change it, So Hansard, it's true. It's one of many other things that are true. Am I going to get into it with you and fight about this and that detail? But more than anything, people, my gente Latina, especially people that watch Channel 34 and Channel 52, they're lying to you. Okay. Not only they're lying to you, they hate you. Okay. With everything they tell you, they're hurting you to believe a certain thing. The biggest crime of the last 10 years, the biggest failure is journalism, the death of journalism. Wow. You cannot ask somebody, you can't ask me to trust somebody that has lied to my face to me 4 or 5 times already, right? That would be stupid, right? If you're still out there watching the news and believing what they say, God bless you.
There used to be a code amongst journalism.
Yeah,
there was a code, right? There was
the
news.
Greater good.
Yeah, the greater good.
Or the truth.
The truth was going to get to the public, regardless,
truth, right? They shouldn't have a side, right? They shouldn't be on the right or on the left, but they are. And I know a lot of people say, well, the right, it's only one news outlet. Every other news outlet, every other media, every other corporation leans one way. And they're giving you a message, okay? So, Hunter, if you don't think, if you think Russia's still, if you're somebody who, you laugh at people who are QAnon people, you're like, oh, you're a QAnon idiot. And you still believe in Russia, you're the equal. You are the same thing. You are the exact same thing, just on the other side. You just have a different algorithm on your Instagram telling you a bunch of different crap. Okay? So you are not any better. Okay? That is what's going on with that. The point of that is, hey, there's a lot of stuff that, that was fake. Like once again, like I said last week, what's the difference between a conspiracy and the truth? 90 days. Okay? Give it 90 days and it'll end up being the truth. All right. Another thing I want to talk about in the news today is the LA Marathon. All right. A lot of people ran the LA Marathon over the weekend. And what I like to say is, I do not care. Listen. Okay. Over the years, you know what? There was a time when I thought the LA Marathon, it was impressive, right? But there's a long list of people who I know that I am athletically superior to who have posted that they have done the LA Marathon, So with the collection of people who I have seen, I'm no longer that impressed.
Oh, man.
Because I think I will ball you all up in 21. Or at the gym, you know what I'm saying? So, the LA Marathon, I'm just kidding about. Congratulations to everybody who did it, right? I haven't done it. I'm a fat, lazy bastard, right? That's the truth. I just want to talk shit. But, great job, I suppose. Lastly, going on with sports, I want to talk a little bit on sports. Is the only thing that really gets me going these days. Sports have really just gone down. If the NBA, if you haven't been watching the NBA, if you live in reality, man, the NBA is almost dead. People do not care, right? The numbers are down. They're losing to the W. Have you seen that? Yeah, it's bad. They lose to the WWF. It's bad. For many reasons, right? So, they've lost a lot of people, man. But the two sports that really get me going, is my favorite thing in the world, my only team that I love, and that is La Selecta. La Selecta, the El Salvador national soccer team, the greatest team in the world. Not really, but the team that I love more than anything. I'm a Cowboy fan, a Laker fan, a USC fan, a Miami fan, a bunch of things, right? But I would trade them all in. If somebody told me you can, they are gonna suck for 10 years, and the Selecta makes the World Cup one time, I would trade them in any moment, all day, every day. You know, die hard, man. The Selecta is, if you think you're Boston Red Sox fans or Cincinnati Reds or people who have been long waiting, nothing compares to La Selecta, man. One thing that's dope about being a Selecta fan is that it gives me an iron stomach. Okay, when the Dodgers got robbed those 2 times, I've already felt that pain. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, man, no, I know pain, brother. Okay, to be a Selecta fan is to watch the entire game like this, man. Al culito así, mira. Us being up 2-0 is actually the most stressful thing in the world because we'll probably end up losing 3-2. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just but it's a disease that my older brother gave me. Shout out to my older bro Andy. It's a big part of the El Salvadoran people identity. El Salvadoran people are a big part of the Los Angeles experience, right? So this week, all that is going on. We really don't have a chance, but hopefully we kind of go out with honor. But check them out. Selecta is actually really interesting too, because there's a lot of American players there now, a lot of people like me, a lot of perfect breeds, like half Salvadoran, half half Guatemalan, half American and stuff like that. They're on the team, man. So it's real interesting, man. So that is the current events. Check out La Selecta. All right, check out the news, and thank you. All right, we're gonna move on out. All right, now we're gonna move on to everybody's favorite section. I got a lot of positive feedback on this one. Here we go. Queensbridge. That's right, baby. If I ruled the world, okay? If Czaleo ruled the world, what I would do, okay? So on today's edition of If I Ruled the World, last time I rounded up the meter maids, right? So number 2 on that list of people who I would round up, that the Czaleo militia, black hand of Czaleo would come to round up. Or actually, this is what I would do. You know what I would do if I was the king of the world? I'd have a big old convention. I'd have a big old at the LA Convention Center. That's right. At the Vegas, right? I'd invite everybody, all the smartest scientists, everybody working on artificial intelligence, everybody working on life extension, right? I'd have a buffet. We'd have lights, right? I'd be like, they all meet each other. We'd be there. We'd be shaking hands, right? Everybody, if you're working on AI, algorithms, extending the life and putting transponders in all that stuff, we'd have a gala, dog, fucking gala, dog, right?
The party.
We'd fucking line them up. We'd have Beyonce up in that bitch, Bad Bunny, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone.
I line them all up, dog. I put every national TV, dog, right? National TV. We fucking line them up, dog.
Party.
Mira. Ooh, fiery squad, dog. Okay. Hey,
it's not that type of party.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a call to violence, right? Don't calm down, right? But honestly, I'm not down with any of that. Okay. Anybody who who thinks that they should live forever should be the first people that needs to die. Okay. Artificial intelligence, eternal life, and all that stuff, man. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but everybody has to die. Right. You have to die. I don't care how cool you are, how special you think you are, how good you think your ideas are. You gotta die, bro. Okay? Nobody is special enough to live forever. Also, I don't think people really think this out. You don't want to live forever. Right. Do you know the amount of pain that would be? Do you know how much people you would lose? Right? Even now, as you grow up, even now, when I was young, I thought that way. I wanted to live forever. The way things are going, man, dog, I do not want to be here 100 years from now, right? Like, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I don't know where society is going. Values change, right? Things are moving rapidly, right? So, and another idea of artificial intelligence, right? Do you have the dog? We weren't able to upload the snippet from Elon Musk, right?
You know what? I think I could play it.
But if we can play the audio, right? But in what, even us, if you're somebody who, you believe which is, true, right? In the experience here on Earth, when has a more advanced technological being or society encounter something that is less technological or less smart and not absolutely annihilated it, right? That's what we do, right? Creating artificial, like movies like Terminator 2. Like to me, Terminator 2 was almost like prophecy, right? Like, or the Matrix, right? They ask these deeper questions, right? Um, the idea of something being smarter than us, and here's the thing: is that if we actually create something that's smarter than us, that is more capable than us, it can take over us, and we didn't even notice, right? Like we move really fast, right? And the reason I caution the moving fast is because one thing that I really believe in, man, is the capacity for human error. That's one thing that we do not consider, right? We think that we're so evolved, and we think that, and that's not true. What happened during the pandemic? People were rioting over toilet paper. If you think that we are an evolved species, you're stupid. Sorry, you're incorrect. Okay, let the lights go out in LA or New York City, for everybody will be getting raped.
See what happens.
People will be looting, rioting. We are not that evolved yet. With that same idea, people are saying we're gonna Neuralink. Dude, I'm not gonna be one of the first. I'm not gonna get my brain fried. You know what I'm saying? Even go like, all these ideas are good ideas, right? But these are leaps that we're trying to take, that we're everybody's like, well, Elon Musk is hopefully doing. Like one thing I told you, I have an incredible, my experience. If you're listening to the show, I'm of the masses, right? I'm not some elite person. I'm of the masses. I'm just like you, right? And I know that things trickle down. Like one thing about the shots, right? The jabs, right? One thing that did not give me faith. I'm not gonna tell you my status, right? Because it's none of your business. But take a wild guess. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that is like this, dog. When things trickle, like you can have the best, it was the best treatment, whatever, right? But I know that by the time it trickles down, they came up with that in some lab in Harvard. And by the time it trickles down to Southern California, to my section, to my Walmart, my fate is gonna be in the hands of some ex-chola from Riverside who has a biracial kid named Jaden. You know what I'm saying? And there could, not that they're in contact, they might do a great job, but she also might not. She probably has stress, and she has, it all trickles down to who's handling it, who's the truck driver that brought it to me. Same thing goes with quality control, dog. By the time I'm not an elite person, so by the time things trickle down to me, am I getting the best?
It's just going down there.
50-50, dog. So the idea of artificial intelligence, and then you're going to be Neuralink, man, I don't know, man. I find that to be a terrible idea. You know what? Another thing, and it's also about the way they sell everything. It's like smart cities. Don't you want to be? No, to me, dude, the idea. This is it's like the feminization of the world, right? I feel like men wander, right? Women search safety. We all, in our society today, we give up privacy for convenience and safety, right? All of our privacy, which is a big part of the founding fathers. Privacy is actually one of the most important things, but we give it up for convenience, right? And this is what people don't understand. Like I don't know how you feel, Hank. I don't know how you feel, but to me, the idea of people are like, "What do you care? You're not doing anything bad. Don't you want your products? Why do you get mad if they know you?" No, I don't want an algorithm to know everything that I'm going to do. And not only that, predict what I'm going to do.
Right.
I don't like it. It's the idea of somebody knowing where I am all the time, 24/7.
Your freedom is gone.
It's gone, right? And but the thing is that more and more people, they love it. People love safety. Everything you knew on the news, you're all going to, now if the terrorists are going to get you, they're going to kidnap your kid. Now there's fucking AIDS in the air. You can't breathe. It's like people love, like one thing that this whole thing taught me, unfortunately, man, this pandemic, bro, was that, I'm sorry to say, man, but the strongest thing on this world is fear. Okay, fear defeats love. It defeats logic. It defeats proof. If you get people scared, bro, you can do whatever to them, man. So that is all. Gets me not so happy. How many minutes are we? Really good.
You still want to run? I queued up that Musk. If you want to hear
let's hear it. Let's hear it. Right here, this, guys.
Humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants. We're just building a road. And so goodbye anthill.
There you go.
So goodbye anthill.
Yeah, goodbye anthill. That's Elon Musk, one of the people that you guys all love, right? One of your modern gods that everybody.
So if something stands in the way, then we just
exactly. That they don't look like the idea, right? Let's say you had a robot and let's say you told your robot, make my kids a sandwich. Depending on how it hears it, it's gonna make them a sandwich, or it's gonna turn your kids into a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like it all depends on how, so that's why where it goes back to the human error part.
Right.
I don't trust. Like even the reason I'm religious, a lot of people are like, people who are religious. You know why I'm religious? Because I don't trust in man. You know what I'm saying? If you're really, we're gonna figure it out. We're a man. I'm my own guy. Do you know history at all? Where the fuck have you been the last 1,000 years? We're not gonna figure it out and make everybody peaceful. Man's nature is their man's nature, dog. So I believe in God because one of the main reasons because I don't believe in y'all. You know what I'm saying? And our capacity to overcome, man. I mean to an extent, but So yeah, so that's going on that, man. So and back to the artificial intelligence is just dangerous, man. So okay, we're gonna move on to another segment that got a lot of people really liked it, man. A lot of people liked it. We talked about the great movie last week known as Demolition Man, right? Today we got another great movie, right? That kind of bounces off of it actually relates to the topic of the day about strong men, right? And it's one of the greatest sports movies of all time. Top 5. This movie makes me emotional, right? It makes me cry. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of many great things, right? It captures Americana, right? It captures competition. And today's great fucking movie of the week, all right, is A League of Their Own. Yeah, all right, A League of Their Own. Does anybody remember A League of Their Own? Right? It started what's her name? Thelma, the girl from Thelma and Louise, right? What was her name?
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis, right?
Thank you.
Gina Davis. It's about women's professional baseball. It's a great movie.
Let me play a little cue.
Yeah, go for it. Cue it up.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard.
Baseball's
If it
supposed to
wasn't
be
hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
Awesome, man. I love this movie because it's a great movie about feminists and feminism. It shows that women are capable. They can succeed, but more than anything, I feel like it shows women being women. If they made a league of their own today, you know what it would be? It would be a girl going into Major League Baseball, defeating all the men, hitting 87 home runs, and striking out everybody, right? Like, right. It's like, once again, it'd go to the messaging. Instead of them trying to capture the truth, they're trying to like give you this new idea of what the truth is, right? It's great because the women, they're sisters, they get discovered, right? But they're feminine, right? They're girls. The girls on that movie, they act like women. They value, getting married. The part where they tell Betty Spaghetti that her husband died, right, in the war. It's like heartbreaking.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, man. They discover, they go to the big town, they go to the big city. The little sister, she's always been in the shadow of the big sister, right?
But they doll her up. They get all nice and pretty.
And then one thing that's key to it, right, that kind of relates to what's going on today is, remember, there's they had them in skirts. Remember, they have the whole season when they have them in skirts, and they teach them how to be ladies, right?
Right.
They go to the school, and they're like, a lot of them are rough around the edges, right? And Madonna, she's like the New York City. She's kind of like a hoe. She's the only one, right? Nowadays, they would all be hoes, and they'd be like, yeah, right? But she's the only one, right? Right? But, and then there's like the ugly friend, right? It's just, it goes to like, and the thing is that it worked, right? At the end of the movie, they show how it lasted for like 10 years, right? It went on. You know why?
This is based on a true story.
It's based on the truth. You know why? They sold it. They sold the league, okay? Nowadays, right? This is it's definitely up to date. Like what's going on with that women swimmer, right? With that man who swam as a woman, right?
Right.
What was my point? My point was that the women were there trying what they all remind me, Hank, what I'm saying. Hold on. So the women were there. My point to that was that
I just think that they showed.
Oh, that they sold it, right?
They sold it, right?
The key to women's sports, the reason women's sports don't work, is because women don't watch. If you want women's sports to be successful, you watch it. If women watched it, there's more women. There's more educated women. Women make money. If you want the W2NBA to be successful, just watch it. If women watched women's sports, they would be the number one sport. The thing is that you try to shove it down our throats, right? Which is fine. We will take it, but you have to sell it. You know what they saw in they had them skirt. They had them ladylike. They don't even sell attractiveness, right? They don't even have the decency to make the WNBA girls attractive, right? You have in the American market, right? Like equality. Equality means that you have a chance to compete, but you still have to compete. Just because you make a product, the public doesn't have to buy it. You have to sell it. They sold that league. You know, they in that movie they showed all American girls. They sang the all right. They were you wanted to root for them. Okay, American girls sports these days. What the girls soccer star? I hate everybody. I hate everybody. I deserve this. Unlikable, unlikable, unfriendly, uncooperative. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes that. You can't, even as a man. You know what I'm saying? You have to sell. You have so A League of Their Own is a great movie, and that it shows it's a great sports movie. It's a top 5 sports movie, hands down, right? It shows Americana, it shows, feminism, in many other ways that I think that is correct, right? In that it's equality and fairness, but it also is the reality of that you have to sell. Okay, everybody can compete, but it's called compete. We can't just give it to you. Okay, so
because they competed,
yeah.
They played good.
Ladies, if you want to sell, like the NFL, there's been other leagues that failed. They had to sell it. They sold storylines. The NBA only really popped off in the 80s. Magic and Larry Bird. They sold that whole rivalry. And what was it? Larry Bird was actually the country person. The white man was the country, right? And Magic was Showtime, Hollywood, right? Showtime. But that was a storyline. They sold it. The NBA flourished, right? Jordan and them came and they did good. And right now it seems like the fools right now are kind of messing it, right? So yeah, that's the great fucking movie of the week. All right.
People stand online and shit.
So, all right, how much time we got, Jack?
20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes to go. Okay, guys. So we're gonna knock this out. Okay. We're gonna go to our next topic of the day. Hopefully you're having a good time. Do we have anybody in the chats?
We did. So,
all right.
Like the movie. They like the movie.
Oh, love that movie. All right, good. People love that movie. Great, man. It is a great movie, man. All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. All right, good stuff, man. Thank you, guys. All right, how about on the YouTube comments? Do we got the YouTube? Let's see what we got. Let's see if everybody's up there.
We do have 4 comments.
Oh, see, we got 4 comments. All right, Matthew. All right, we got laughter. True, great movie. Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton, strong woman back in the day. Yes, another. You know what? Speaking of that, right? So a little bit on what we talked about last week is like, it interests me how we feel like all these things never happened. We act in this time that we went from the 60s to today, and we forgot everything in between. A League of Their Own is another great example. Sarah Connor. And I was gonna name my daughter Sarah because I think Sarah is she just represents strength, right? I saw another movie over the weekend. I showed my kids. Don't forget, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Does anybody remember that movie? Great 90s movie. Christina Applegate, beautiful. Oh my, stunning. But the main, I remember it brought me back, right? The main protect, remember she worked for that business lady. The business lady was awesome. She was like all in business. She was a ass kicker. She was super sweet. Like, we live in a time where everybody's like the first guys. We've been progressing for a long time. Anytime I go back and see 90s and 80s movies, you know what I see? I see people of color. I see women succeeding, right? It's been happening for a long time, guys. I'm glad that it still is, but let's not act like it's been 40 years of oppression. It hasn't. Okay, these messages have been getting out there for a long time, and we're getting there, and it's great. And we need to stop going back and then now stomping on the past and acting like it was all oppression, because it wasn't. There was a lot of happiness and a lot of progress. That's how we got here, Oh,
it was great, man.
Yeah, man. So okay, so all right, we're gonna move on to the other one. We got this snippet here for you guys. Listen up, my boy Furious Styles.
Can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. What do you have to do around here?
I don't have to do nothing around here except for pay the bills, put food on the table, and put clothes on your back. You understand?
I don't have to pay no bills.
Trey, you may think I'm being hard on you right now, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to teach you how to be responsible.
Bam.
It's like your little friends across the street.
Furious Styles. All right, our segment, things your dad should have taught you. Okay, Furious Styles is you know what, he was one of my, man, I remember, dog, when I saw Boys in the Hood, like I told you, man, you know, growing up in the time that I grew up in, the black experience was a big part of my life. You know, I saw if the American experience is told through movies, when I was a kid, there was not a lot of Latin things, and the nearest thing that was close to my life experience was stuff like this, man. So Furious Styles was a big person in my life. I remember when he said that line. When he said that line, you know, black man don't got no place in the army, son. It stuck with me, you know, my whole life, man. And even though my older brothers went to the military, my boy Hank did too. For some reason, that line really stuck with me. Like I always like, I know he said black man, but my brown man too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you got no place in the military. It really stuck with me, you know. But things your dad should have taught you for the week is number one, embrace the suck. Okay, the sweet is not as sweet without the bitter. Okay, lots of times in life we don't do things because you think about the hard part, right? You people who work in sales, right? They don't want to make the calls, right? Or they don't want to do the door knocking, right? They don't want to do the things that, or you want to be successful in this. What's gonna happen? People aren't gonna like it. They're gonna tell me I suck. Embrace it. Pain is what makes you, right? Success comes through fire. Embrace the sucking. That's where all the learning happens, right? Your first days of anything, right? There is no sweetness without bitterness, right? I'm somebody that in my life, man, I've tasted a lot of bitter. Okay? I've lost a lot. I've started things that didn't work out. You know, I've lost more than I've won, right? But when I win, it's sweet. It tastes good, right? It tastes great. So embrace the suck. The suck is where all the best things happen. That 6 a.m, right? That failing. Start a business. Fail. Nobody help you. Nobody come to help you. Fail. You will only learn from that. I think Warren Buffett said that he doesn't hire anybody unless they have 2 failed businesses. Right? We live in this world today where everybody doesn't, I have to plan everything out and we're going to make sure everything works out. We're all going to do it. No, you have to go into something, and if you don't, you know, there is no losses. There's only learning, right?
That's right.
But if you don't lose, you're not going to learn, right? So embrace it. Don't always find the easy way out. Challenge yourself. Do the hard things, right? If you go to the gym and you're like, oh, but a lot of people do this. They're like, well, you know, but this part is bad. Whatever you're bad at, work on that first. Right. That's what you should work on first, right? And that's the only thing that's going to make you better, right? The other thing, guys, the other thing that I think your dad should have taught you guys is learn how to cook. Because I'm telling you right now, man, we got a generation of these ladies that don't know how to cook. So young men, okay? Man, I'll tell you something, man. I'm blessed. Shout out to my wife, okay? I am of the lucky guys who gets a lonche when he wants. You guys seen those memes? Oh, I got lonche. You know what? My wife, she gets down. You know what a blessing it is to have a wife that knows how to cook? You know, it's something that goes to other levels, man. I could tell the jealousy of my coworkers. They're like, God damn, right?
She hooked it up.
Gentlemen, dog, I'm telling you, the way that these ladies are being born these days, are being taught these days, invest in cat food, because there's going to be a pandemic of cat ladies coming up, right? And learn how to cook, dog, because it's going to get hard out there right now.
But
bro.
I'm going to say that if we are experiencing that again falls back into the lack of men in the families, right? The lack of men, the lack of role models, right?
The family structure,
right? So the ladies not picking something up, it's not necessarily their fault, right? Where's the man? Where was the father at? You know, kind of holding it down, teaching, you know, and showing. As a mom, I'm sure the mom, if the dad was absent, I'm sure the mom was out making ends meet.
No, what happened is everybody, society, nobody's being raised to be fathers and mothers anymore. No. Everybody's being raised to be themselves. Everybody's being raised to be the exception to the rule. Do you have your kids after 30 or all that stuff? So, like I said, if you get married or you don't, that's fine. But learn how to cook, dog, because most people these days, they're not learning. A lot of people are living for themselves. If you want to eat in the future, bro, start getting those skills, because otherwise you're going to be paying to have it delivered for you and paying an extra $9 just to have it delivered to you, all right? Yeah. Your boy, all right? Caesar Leo. We got some Terminators Classic. The Winning Time series is great. So, all right, awesome, man.
They asked about your hat.
Oh, my hat. That's my Suprema hat. Hey, La Suprema. That's our merch right there. That's an angel defeating a devil, all right? That's like what a man should do, okay? We're out here defeating evil, all right? La Suprema. Check it out, La Suprema on LaSupremamusic.com. We're going to have our merch up. You can buy merch there. South Central America coming through, all right? So check out my stuff, okay? LA Suprema, Hank, Caesar Leo, Dore, Ace, what's up? All right. Moving on now. Okay, we're getting ready to wrap it up. How much time we have left?
15 minutes.
Oh, actually, we got a good amount of time, all right? Awesome. Good. We actually got a good amount of time. So let me see here. Terminator was a great movie, man. Terminator is classic. 100%. I agree with that. Terminator was my favorite movie, man, for at least a decade of my life. If you ask me what was your favorite movie of all time,
Badass
it was
woman, Sarah.
Yeah, right, Sarah?
She kicked ass,
Right?
man. She kicked
Strong.
ass.
And remember, it's great how her character developed. In part one, she was soft, remember? She was like this waitress girl.
But it was game time. It went,
yeah, dude. And it was so, 10 years later when you saw her again, remember when she had that scene and she's like, you're like, what, dog? You know, it just, she had that motherly instinct. It was just so gangster. But it really, I remember like me and my brothers, we called each other on August 29th, 1997. All right, because that day we thought that Skynet, that shit, like I remember that Skynet thing really opened my eyes to the whole computers and the idea of them being evil. And ever since then, Matrix and all that has added to it, right? But the Terminator it just made sense, right? It just captured it so perfectly. And then when it came back in '92 with Edward Furlong and Guns N' Roses, it was just perfect, dog. You know, it is a movie. It just the storyline, and then at the end, how he had to sacrifice himself, man. It's just it's just a great movie, man. And any movie that touches on those futuristic topics always get me going. All right, who we got here? All right, good news. All right, so Terminator was dope, man. That's touching on our AI topics. What does everybody else think about AI? Are you guys a fan of it? Are you guys fans of an algorithm telling you what you want all the time and even predicting what you're gonna do? Like I said, to me, that's suffocating. I cannot think of a worse life than being monitored at all times. To me, it's not worth it. I'd rather live, danger is where creativity comes from. How could you have creativity and safety? How? There has to be risk. There has to be wilderness, right? It to me, I remember another idea one thing I never liked is like, I like the idea that people can escape prison. I don't like the idea that any prison is unescapable, right? Because have you ever noticed that whenever there's somebody who's escaped prison, you never see this. Oh, somebody escaped prison today, and he was actually, he cheated on his taxes. So it was no big deal. No, every time somebody escaped prison, it's like 4-time murderer, child rapist. Like I feel like there's a lie in there somewhere. Like it's never like a regular. It's always like the worst criminal, right? The thing is that I don't want a jail to be 100% perfect because I don't think the judicial system is 100% perfect.
100% correct.
Right? So I need to have the idea that there's a possibility to escape. Because as the human, because then otherwise we're saying that for sure the judicial system is correct on, and it isn't.
No.
Right? So for that, the idea of an unescapable jail bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to the AI thing, like an unescapable reality. Monitored and all, like your heart right now, guys. We don't understand what they're monitoring the way your breath goes, right? The pauses you take in it to see if you can need medicine, if you need heart medicine, right? If you're gonna buy this, all that stuff.
Are you a positive thinker or a negative thinker?
Yeah,
right.
Bro.
I mean, so let's get into that. No. Like if you're a positive thinker, then they're gonna herd you one way. If you're a negative thinker, then you're gonna be because they're tapping into.
And it takes away from the randomness of life.
Right.
I met my wife through random.
Right.
I love her. My life became so much better through that random thing. If it would have planned my day, what makes more sense? What happened to me on that day would not have happened.
So you don't believe in what was the app dating? The dating app?
Well, I mean, I'm not of that generation, so I missed it, right? One thing, I'm not going to try to comment on dating too much because I only know how to date my wife. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have opinions. I mean, I give you the big brother opinion, right? But I think that what's problematic about those dating apps is that it's the choice. Like, it's hard these days, guys. I think I thank God I met my wife when I did. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think it's terrible out there because there's just so much choice. I don't like going to the mall buffet. You know why? Because it doesn't matter what I get. I fucking wish I got what you got. You know what I'm saying? If I get hot dog on a stick, I'm like, I should have got the Chinese fucking food. You know what I'm saying? You come in with your steaming plate, right? Yeah. And nowadays, even me right now, as soon as I go there's 30 single women looking to have sex with me in Santa Monica right now, right? It's always telling me, even though it's not true, but it's always, you have this. So I think that nowadays, everybody, as soon as something's wrong, I got 30 other motherfuckers, right? If you're a woman, right? Dude, God, women these days, you must be killing. Like, there's, right. There's so much choice these days, right? And then like they try to tell you who's, like I said, if anything, I think love and all that, the most passionate, it's all in the messiness of it. The messiness of it is what makes it good, right? Like sin, right? Like I always think that if you're somebody who likes sex, right? If you like the taboo, you should like religion. You should want the world to be religious and to have taboos because that's what makes it good.
Exciting.
That it's wrong,
Mhm.
right? Don't you get it? Like that's the fact that am I gonna? She ever done this before? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna grab you and all that shit. That's sex. That's the conquering of like even the girls are fake. I never done this, but all that it's all fake, right? It's all that shit is the beauty of it because it's kind of wrong. Oh my god, I shouldn't. That's what makes it great.
Right.
So if you love sex, you should want it to be taboo because then. If it's so like right now, like when it was dope when I was a kid, when you to get a porno would be like a mission. Be like, yeah, get the box. Yeah, it was like, oh, now it's just you just go in your hand and you go on your phone. When it's and then look at the porno categories nowadays, right? They're perverted. They're sickening, and that's the start. Now there's certain people that they're like they cannot get off unless they see. I need to see a Latina babysitter with her sister and during a camping trip with her uncle. You know what I'm saying? Right, only in that it's cheapened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's that.
I do have a comment.
All right, what we got? I'll be back. AI is boring and the death of creativity. Amen. Right? It makes everything, it makes it's too perfect, right? And nothing can be perfect, right? And some of us we need the messiness to thrive. And I'm definitely one of those, man. And hopefully more of you are like that as well. All right. All right, we're moving on up. Now we got we're actually getting ready to kind of go pretty soon, right? We got lowering of standards, right? We got the overall lowering of standards, right? Let's see here. Let me get you my cool little intro for this. Let's see who remembers this. If you're a cool person, you're right there. No. Hold on. We got it. Here we go. Who remembers this? Lowered expectations, the overall lowering of standards, right? That was a clip from Mad TV. It was about people who had lower expectations on dating apps back in the day or dating videos. One thing that's going on right now, right? And then the lowering of standards and the lowering of expectations. When I was growing up, it's almost like be careful what you wish for. I always wished for this time when Hispanics and we will be taking over and we will be, doing it. And it's almost like become a nightmare, right? Now they're giving this tokenism, right? Don't fall for it, guys. Okay. What did Martin Luther King say, right? Judge a person by their content of character, right? Not the color of their skin. Just because somebody is your same skin color, it doesn't mean that they have your same values. Okay. Right now, everything is what we're gonna get. Everything has to be a person of color and a woman. So you shouldn't have those standards. You need to interview for the best people. Okay. Through that, we're gonna have fairness, right? If you're doing things, right now what they're doing now, what they figured out is that if we just give them somebody that looks like them,
they'll be okay.
They'll be okay.
They'll be content.
What do they actually do? Are these people that look like me? Do they have my values, right? What's the new lady that's going to the Supreme Court? Yeah. There's things that she does, right? I know she's a black woman. Great. I love black women, right? There's things that she does that I don't agree with. Okay. AOC is a Hispanic woman. Things she does, I don't agree with. Antonio Villaraigosa, I told people years ago, look at his face. I know people. He had a snake face. He's not a good person, right? He's a political beast, right? Don't fall for the tokenism, okay? Look beyond color of skin or the way people have sex. That is not a trait that identifies your character, right? That is not your defining trait. Your defining trait is not your skin color. There's nothing you can do about it, being born with it or the way that you have sex. It isn't, okay? Whenever they put somebody that just to fill the box, listen to what they actually say and what they actually do. What are they actually doing and where is this getting me? Who's going to actually help me? Okay, we have to be smarter than that. What do you think, Hank? Right? Okay. You agree with me. Give me 5 minutes. That's what he meant to say. I was like, high five, big dog. You know what I'm saying? No, okay.
No,
5 minutes to go, right?
I agree with
so,
everything you
said. The lowering of expectations. We live in this world now where they just, and like I said, it makes me sad because, what people call progress, I call, lowering of standards, right? Like if you lower this, like right now, there's all these things too where like now math is different or the SATs, we're making it easier for minorities. That's not helping us. You are not helping minorities by making it easier for them to do things. You're actually hurting us in the long run because when you get there to really compete, you're not going to be able to.
But lowering
compete.
the bar is not helping us.
That's actually offensive to me. You can look, dude. I'm not. I have tough skin. Okay, I'm an overweight Salvadoran fool with a sleepy eye. Okay, I could get bagged on all day. I got tough skin, dog. You know what I'm saying? You can offend me. You can offend the way I look. You can offend a lot of things, but do not offend. Do not treat me as if I am stupid.
Intelligence.
If you treat me as if I am stupid, then you're gonna have a giant problem because then now I am offended, right? Do not talk down to me. That's when you offend me. Then now I'm going, right? So all this lowering of standards and getting these people that are, look, we got you. Aren't you happy? No. What does this person have to say? What does he have to say? What do they actually think?
Right.
Okay, so the overall lowering of standards, that's that one. Now we're gonna go to our outro, right? We're gonna keep it positive. We got a little bit of time to go. All right, we're gonna switch it up here. We're gonna do some showing of love. Thank you guys for coming, man. It's been awesome, man. Check out next week. We'll be back. Thank you guys for joining the chat, man. It was awesome, man. I appreciate all. Amen. 100%. Thank you. All right, we're checking out pretty soon. One thing I want to do for sure is last week I wanted to show love, right? There's a lot of people who I want to show love to, okay? Just because they didn't tell me to. Last time I wanted to give my boy Ace. His company is called Stitchworks. Check him out, man. He does dope t-shirt design and printing. I want to give a shout out to Man Shave Barber Lounge, my boy Heido and their barbershop over there. They're doing big things there in Inglewood. Big shout to you guys, man. Much love. My boy Marlon and his podcast. Marlon Dato, he's a good guy, man. My boy out of Cal State Fullerton, he's a rapper called MD Lands. He got a podcast that's cracking. Much love to you, big dog. You got anybody, Hank?
Yeah, man. I got Eddie Blend or Blend Eddie on Instagram. He's a barber. He's a great barber, man. He covers the Hollywood area, San Gabriel Valley itself. Like he's great. He's mobile barber, man. It's
Nice.
Great.
I got a little brother, Mark Garza, too. He does taxes. He just got a real estate license. He's out there killing it, too. Big shout out to him. He's got a tax preparer business right there in the city of Huntington Park. If you need to get your taxes done, let me know. DM me. I'll get you in contact with him. So thank you, guys. How much time we got left? 2 minutes. Okay, we got 2 minutes to wrap it up. So I want to show love to those people because it's important. One thing I do want to let you guys know is that the truth hurts. I know. I get it. But it's for your own good, and you're welcome. All right? And another thing that's true is that this show is called Czaleo Knows It All. But any wise man knows that he knows nothing, right? A wise man once said that I do not know everything. That's what makes me wise, right? So Czaleo does not know it all. I do not know it all. But I definitely know more than you. All right, your boy Czaleo. On that, we're going to say goodbye. My boy, you got something to say?
That's it, man. Great show.
Great show. Hang in there with us, right? I know we had a little 4 or 5 minutes. I was sweating a lot, but I feel like it got better. Let me know the positives, the negatives. I want to hear it all, man. We're going to keep the show growing. Engage with me, man. Like I said, if you don't like what I have to say, I really want to hear what you have to say, right? And if you do, I also want to hear it. La Suprema, check us out. Check me out. Czaleo Knows It All. Czaleo 100 Fuegos on Instagram. Merch, music, and stuff coming up too. Topics are coming up too. Let me know what topics you would like to talk about, right? I want this to be a sphere, a kind of a Latino manosphere, but I want women's involved too, because there is no man without women. There is none of us without each other, right? So we need everybody's input and opinion. And let's freaking do this, man. Stay positive out there. Don't listen to the news. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna make it. Okay, we're Americans. Have faith in the Lord.
Stay classy.
Stay classy. Los Angeles, San Diego, the world. Peace.